Welcome to Starmont Trails Farm. My name is Kat, and this is the journey of a Mustang horse named Skeeter. We're going to walk through from when he was completely wild all the way up until these photos can be taken. Yeah, he's such a sweet boy now. So I found him through the Bureau of Land Management's online auction. They have these several times a year. The attempt to get a good video up of the horse moving so you can kind of see that. I knew he was going to be a little guy because of this. You see him kind of near these other horses and around the panels. They claimed he was 14 hands. I found out he was not. Let's just say this face, this one right here, this is what got Skeeter adopted by me. After you've adopted through the online auction, they reach out to you and ask you where you want to pick up. They kind of move them with big trucks through the country to different locations. And I chose this location, so this is me picking him up and seeing him in person for the first time. And of course, the little kick there. This is very traumatic handling for them, to be honest. They've not been around people at all. He was in a desert, hanging out with his buddies, and then helicopters and four-wheelers, and there's no telling what all. Anyway, they rounded him up because the place where he lived was Jake Squash, Nevada, and they were running out of water. So, this will come up later. I had another Mustang trainer convince me to try putting halters on at pickup to make training easier for me, and I haven't done that since, and I'll explain that later. Skeeter is the reason I do not actually have halters put on in the beginning anymore. But they almost didn't let me bring home. My husband picked out a different one for his 1-year-old. So this first one through here, see, that one is like 1.5. But they didn't want me to put him in with Skeeter to see how much smaller he is because he's 5. And I was like, no, go look at the 2 horses we picked out. The 5-year-old's not going to beat up the baby. Anyway, it was really amusing, and they were like, oh, yeah, we see what you... Yeah, you can take them both. Okay, yeah, I wanted to make sure I mentioned this both ways, text and vocally. There's going to be a lot of footage of my husband, Chad, training him because there was no way for us to... I couldn't film myself at the time. I didn't have a tripod. I tried propping phones on fences and things, and anyway. So I would do something during the week, and then I would show Chad on the weekends, have him do it. So it's sort of Skeeter learning and Chad learning at the same time a little bit here. And we'll say, oh, hey, that's the little baby who we learned is 1 year old, 1-year-old versus Skeeter, who's 5 here. You can see the size difference. It's hilarious. Anyway, forgive timing errors and such here. Like I said, they're both learning.
We want to kind
This
of
is
train
not
him
intended to be a training video.
we
This
want
is
him
just
to go
sort
when he
of
spooks.
where we started with Skeeter. He was never one of the most dangerous Mustangs I've worked with, but he was still pretty unlearned. There, we're letting him dart forward. That's where the safe zone is. You don't want a horse to land on you or back into something and get in a bigger mess. And here, Chad gets his first touch.
Back
Boom.
off, all the way off.
And as a reward, Skeeter gets left alone for a little while to think about it. You'll notice that he no longer has a halter on. This is probably still within the first week of having him. He had gotten stuck. The halter was stuck on the bottom of a gate. I think he was scratching. So when we first got him, he was really, really itchy. And, but yeah, it hooked into the halter and he was stuck to it until, thank goodness, he managed to get himself out of the halter. Because I don't know what I would have done. He was completely wild still at this point. You can see I can't even get him to eat from me yet. So there was no getting near him, and he was in a state of high panic, thrashing around. It was a very dangerous situation that luckily caused no damage permanently, but it did set me back a bit with halter training. He was pretty scared of them for a little while because he did make that association, I believe. So I no longer get
I know, you have
halters
to
put
touch
on
my hand to
horses.
get to
I
it.
wait until
That's a
I
good
can
Skeeter.
put them on
You're okay.
myself and then
That's
be
a
able to
good
take them
boy.
off again. So on and off is a requirement for me now. I am not going to leave a
Awesome.
horse in a halter.
You want
I
some
got
more?
convinced to try it
There's a
by
good
another
Skeeter.
Mustang trainer that likes
Good
that. I'm
boy.
not saying there's anything.
Good
Some people
boy.
have good success with getting halters put on. The other one I picked up at the same time with him that you'll notice wandering around with a blue halter never had a problem.
Good boy.
But after this one incident, I decided it was
There's
just
a
better
good
for us
boy,
to not
Skeeter.
have that to deal with.
Good boy. Oh, your bubble's getting smaller. Yeah. Oh, you're alright, Skeet. You're a good boy. Yeah, you want to smell me good? Yeah, smell. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
The snorts that you'll randomly hear from him are basically he was like the horsey version of holding his breath with nerves, and then he'll release it all every once in a while. That's what that snorting is. So that's a sign that he's extremely nervous, that he's kind of trying to shake it off.
There's still another couple bites in there. You know you want them.
Okay, I'm going to tell the story of how Skeeter got his
Yeah,
name.
you know you want
It's
them.
sort of a sad story, kind of a funny story. A friend of mine's husband had passed away while I was in the process of adopting Skeeter, and she was obsessed with the song. Oh, I can't even remember the name of the song. Oh, skeet, skeet. Oh, skeet, skeet. You know what I'm going for there? Okay. It's a rap song, I think. Anyway, um, not, yeah, while the sweat drips down from the windows to the walls. Anyway, she was obsessed with this song in her sort of entering the humorous phase of grieving, I guess. So she decided that she wanted me to name the horse Skeet Skeet. I'm not going to explain what that means. You can go look it up. It's not great. But I was like, I can't name a horse this. And she pulled the card and she was like, my husband just died. You have to do what I say.
Gonna do it for the camera?
I know that sounds horrible, but at that point in the grieving process, it's kind of what she needed. And we can laugh about it now for sure. And we were laughing about it then, to be honest. So I don't want to take away from the fact that it was a very sad time, but it was also just a really interesting and humorous way. So I refused to name him Skeet Skeet, but I was like, will you accept Skeeter? And then later on, not during the calm moments, when it was much more exciting or frustrating to be working with him, it kind of turned into a funny, like, skeet, skeet. Skeet, skeet. Okay, anyway, look up the song, look up the meaning if you're interested. But trust me, it's not the cleanest of things. It goes past PG 13. Anyway, sweet, sweet, sweet little like kid pony boy ends up with. That's the funny backstory to his cute little Skeeter name.
Good boy.
Yes, this is what Mustang training is like at my place anyway. I don't go in for all of that. Let's force all of the situations within just a few weeks of everything and just overexposure, and it creates dangerous situations. I believe some trainers are really good at it and okay with it. I work slower. So I spend a ton of time convincing them to just come take a bite and maybe they accidentally touch my hand. Get used to my voice. I do yoga down in the pens. When they get more used to me, I start having dance parties. Yes, solo dance parties. I muck the pens out while they're in them. Just weird everyday stuff. And then I will only force situations when I need them to be forced. They have to learn how to react when they're spooked. They have to, that kind of stuff. I try to do everything in a very safe way for both me and the horse. So this is a big moment. He approaches and chooses to not retreat immediately after snagging a bite. It's a big day for us when that happened. And moving straight into an example of when I do sort of force situations. I finally had somebody recording, but then I had somebody else there that was just on a phone call the whole time, so I can't have the volume on during this little session. It's not the most exciting thing that happened with Skeeter, but there is an exciting moment. Uh, so he's still obviously not super happy about letting me touch him. So there, I pulled him down, um, and basically gave him the cue that, okay, when you're looking at me, like watch me for what we're gonna do. We're gonna be calm about this. And then I go back and I just kind of run my hand up and down this rope, which I basically had lassoed him, more or less. Just kind of running my hand up and down so he can feel me coming through that rope around his neck, convincing him to let me rub him just for a minute. Essentially, I'm going to argue with him about it until he's like, oh, it doesn't hurt. Okay. Okay. This is what eventually will lead to me being able to, well, you can see here, I'm starting to like really give him good pets and rubs and stuff. And the fact that I'm calmly talking to somebody while this is happening means we've done this before. I don't know where footage is, but I'm trusting I understand this horse enough at this point that I'm having conversations, but still keeping a very safe etiquette with the horse. So then, okay, yeah, this is a perfect example of Chad must have come home right after this was happening, and now it's his turn. So, yeah, I've gotten down the neck to the shoulder at this point with rubbing, so now Chad gets to go and give it a try. It's great that I have him around to help me with this because some Mustangs, when you have just one trainer working with them, will accept these things from that one person, but it doesn't necessarily translate to the next person. And that's where a lot of women may understand. I don't have this issue, but other trainers sometimes have issues with the horse being perfectly well behaved. And then the minute they hand it off to a new owner, the horse basically reverts and goes wild again. I get so many people involved to offset that issue. I want them to learn that not only is Kat a lovely person that will scratch their itches and swat their flies and do all these things, but so will Chad, and so will her son Damien, and so will her friend, and na 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 na. That look that Chad just got is golden look. That's Skeeter thinking, I mean, Chad's a pretty nice guy. He scratches my itches. I kind of want to go say hi to him again. But I believe in this session, again, with this has been a while ago, I think we're starting to combine teaching him what the rope cues mean. So Chad's sort of using a combination of come here, I'll scratch your itch with the cues from the rope so that Skeeter can start to get an idea of what it means to be told what to do as opposed to just letting him decide that something is good. So that's kind of what's going on here. I'm not going to get into it too much, partially because I don't remember specifically. I'm just guessing based on behaviors that I'm seeing from both of them. Skeeter definitely is still not happy with that rope telling him what to do. But he's decided that the grain bucket is a better option than Chad. So now Chad's switching gears. It looks like he's going to try to give him the bucket instead of a scratch as encouragement, but something, probably the pressure of the rope on his neck freaked Skeeter out there. Decent way to handle it there. Just kind of let it be in his eye. Oh, now we've got it on his ear. This is prep leading up to getting ready to put the halter back on him. So this is getting used to ropes going around his head without freaking out, things touching his ears without freaking out, his face, his nose, working on his offside. So every horse has a preference, usually left or right. This was his sticky side, we'll call it. He always wanted us to stay on his other side when we first got him. Oh, he got touched on the other side of his face. Chad's messing with that rope. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's trying to get this rope off. I'm actually voicing this over without paying attention to what I'm doing. This video got kind of longer than I thought it was going to, so yeah, I really should have been piecing this together years ago when I had this originally, but yeah, this is how we get it off. So right now, he's still not really letting us do it well. I'm trying to explain to Chad in action. He's never seen it done or anything. But what you normally would do, I don't think he was understanding. The ring that he just grabbed, it's just looped through there. So all you really have to do is grab that ring and back up, and it will unspool itself. Anyway, he's choosing to feed it through, which is fine, except there is a potential that the horse right there, for example, could really have a blow up emotional, like total freak out. This is a fairly scary thing to be doing. Like that horse could make some really bad decisions and hurt them there. So just saying.
What are you doing?
Again, with the everybody's new to everything here.
What you doing? You gonna come out?
We're at the point where I can get near him without a reason. So I don't have any grain. I don't have a rope forcing the situation. There's no fence between us, which was actually how I got my first like good scratching session on him. He was close enough to the fence. I reached through and scratched him, and he was like, "Oh, that's amazing."
Good nose. Nose. Good nose. Good boy. I would really love to be able to get that little fuzzball there. Good nose. Nose.
Oh, yeah, I'm so proud of myself here. You can tell I've brushed his mane out. The rope's on. He's being chill. He's loving this right now. I don't know. It's obviously gotten warmer. I'm in shorts. Time lapse, I guess. I don't know. Old footage. But yeah, Skeeter, this is now his like preferred state of being. This is the Skeeter that will continue into the future. Let's just stand here and groom me all day. Such a diva. Chaos it may be, but it's kind of fun for me. I can tell by the look on my face and the fact that I'm just like awkwardly holding this that this just happened. I might have been forcing all of this to happen, and now it's like he's falling asleep while I am grooming him, and I am so tickled pink. So I'm pretty sure this must have been like right there in the first time it's happened. Half brushed out.
Can I have one more? Can I get one more step? Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, I was supposed to be putting horses out while she was working with Siva. So our goal here, get a loop big enough that you know it'll easily go over his head, and then play with over an ear, under an ear, that kind of thing. Both sides. Like that, yeah. And then work on the other ear a little, like from across. Yep.
Take it off him.
See if he'll drop his head just a little bit. Feeling a little stressy about it right now. There, like that. Wasn't much, but there you go. Just slip it off like, yep. And then walk away. All done.
Horse people will easily recognize the sheer significance of what is happening right now. Spraying.
Don't worry about overdoing it. Just get them
especially with
like
a bottle,
session, I mean.
that fly spray thing. This is huge.
Oh.
This is actually weeks of, most likely weeks, I don't know, days, however long, of me pretending, making the noises, empty bottles, the
He'll
noise
relax into
going,
that side faster though.
getting to the point where I feel safe enough, I guess, to have Chad give it a go too. And you can tell it's still not comfortable. He's still like tolerating, but the most domesticated horses sometimes will not let you fly spray them without a whole song and dance. So this is really big. Chad's showing him the bottle, like, see, it's completely harmless, little dude. Fly spray is kind of a waste of time, in my opinion. I have yet to meet a fly spray that works. Come at me in the comments. Go ahead. It's one woman's opinion. It sweats off just as soon as it goes on. And all this. Oh, yeah. Oh, he must have bumped his nose. Here I am trying to remember again. I think Chad actually is the first person that haltered Skeeter. Like, actually halters him. I had been messing with, I know I messed with him and like putting the rope over his nose and pretending a lot. I think he actually did that. I think that's his first time. And part of that is based on some clues that'll come up here in a little bit where I'm talking about how the halter's way too big on him and stuff. It could be that I had gotten it on as far as just on but not like tied on. I didn't try to adjust it. I don't remember. But see, simultaneously, the horse, the baby that's sticking his face through over there, we were training them both simultaneously. So some of what Chad's doing on Skeeter, he may have already done on Orion, the baby.
He's gonna need a smaller halter.
So it gets a little fuzzy on what is Skeeter's first time versus Chad's first time. But yeah, that halter is way too big for him. It's like hitting his eye. It's having to go way too far up his nose bridge to get
don't like the way it's
tightened
up in his
down,
eyeball.
sort of.
I gotta see if I've got
He's a very little dude.
Was that what you were trying to do? You wanted that spot. I'm so glad I just hosed you off. Thanks. My black horse is turning brown. Ugh. Good job. Good job. Isn't that awesome? Woohoo! Thanks. You don't like being clean? Hi. Don't eat my hand. Your teeth are dirty. They don't brush your teeth out in the wilds? Huh? Do they not brush your teeth out in the wilds? Can we screechy, screechy? There you go. Wish there was a way to do this. Maybe that? Should know better. It's not your most flattering angle. What is it with you and the camera? You're so cute.
Okay. No, he is not a mule.
And then I get the
had
camera,
put it on like half
and
weird,
no,
and
don't
somehow
take
it
my
made his
picture.
ears gigantic.
Oh, almost got all that
This
cleared
is
up.
shortly after I have been
Yes,
getting
we
him to
do.
shed out. He had
Yes, we
some
do. We're
just
gonna go
where
out.
he was gross. Man, he'd never been groomed in his life. So that's I'm kind of starting to see what he's going to look like as he's getting healthier and cleaner.
Previous bald spot. Basically everywhere he's actually black. Oh, he's so cute, baby.
I understand this can be controversial. I'm not looking for an
If you start to run
argument.
out of tail, just...
I know this works. It's
just don't get your
safer
fingers between
than
it and the
finding
post.
out that your horse doesn't know how to be tied in an unsafe situation. So, key things I'm going to point out here: don't do this unless you know what you're doing. That post is not going anywhere. Trust me. Chad can release this horse at any point
How did that halter get in his mouth?
for safety reasons. Here, we notice something's going wrong immediately. We're going to take care of it. Teaching the horses to
Unwrap him.
respect the halter and the fact that they're tied to something
I don't know
and
how
use
that
their
happened.
thinking brain instead of their instinct
That was a
brain
good boy.
can
That's a good
save the
boy.
horse's life in the future. It can save you. You don't want that to happen when you're in public or in a place where, say, he was tied to a board, then the board broke, and now we've got splinters and shards and wood growing everywhere, and a wild horse who is just totally freaked out and is loose
No.
because it broke. So that's one of those dramatic moments I was talking about, though, that I never got on film with this horse. But yeah, so we're just going to teach him in a safe way. And this is about as controlled as you can possibly get in a situation like this. And see, we've waited until he's trusting enough that he's looking at Chad to go, hey, okay, what do I do right now? And Chad's just like, all you really got to do is stand still, but we want you to make the mistakes so we can correct the mistakes.
He's not as strong as others. Don't swing around that way. He's about to get me bound.
Get you bound?
Yeah,
How so?
I'm going to end up twisting him with the rope. There we go. Yeah, I saw that one coming. I'm about to make a really fast move here.
Well, you get a few more minutes of this maybe, and then for whatever reason we quit recording. The goal eventually is to teach him to, well, not freak out because he's tied. And if he does, the second that halter gets tight on him,
Just a
he
smidge
should
more
know,
slack, so he's
take
got a
one
little
calm
bit of
step
room
forward. That's our goal. That's how
There you
I get it to quit yanking on me, is by not yanking on it. And this is another pretty decent jump forward. He's checking out my sister, not me. We do look a lot alike. No, we are not twins. But she's given my dog Jogo a pretty good groom. You guys are familiar with him if you watch my other videos. He's the one that lives with the goats. That's her little dog Jitsi. But yeah, this is where he's really starting to get curious about what's going on around him. We're feeling 100% safe that he's not going to come at us.
Jogo's
obviously.
so big, he probably just thinks he's a
Here in
baby
a sec,
horse.
you'll get to see my son get super excited about this. Abe was just on his phone, and Skeeter just sort of wandered up and started being curious about him. And essentially, he gets a little, pet me now. Like, once he broke loose, man, he was like, yeah, I'm the diva. You're petting me. That's our life. Get over it. That's basically his purpose in life now, is to get pets. Ooh, big day. I remember this. This is the first day I turned him loose outside of the pens. I just opened the gate and we waited to see what was going to happen. I'm trusting
The
him
fun stuff's
to
happening
come
now.
back. He's just about to realize that he is loose and has all this room. He's been in my pens for months at this point, and before that he was in Bureau of Land Management holding pens. I don't know if he was ever given stretch your legs sized holding where he was at or not. He was in holding for over a year before I got him. So it's been a long time since he's had this much freedom.
See, he looks gated.
Oh no! He would be a cart horse.
Yeah, we used to joke a lot. The way he moves and how little he is, he would be so cute
I
with a
am.
little buggy or a little cart. It would just be adorable. Okay, kind of unrelated to the fact that the horses are running around. For anybody who watches my videos, this is maybe phase 1 of turning that spot into a pond. You guys can see it now in videos. It's very different. Things change around here a lot. Well, they used to. Now we're kind of homing in on where we want to be. And they're running through what is now the grassed over riding arena area. So, yeah, lots of progress made in that part of the yard for sure. Yard? Field? Anyway. In case anyone's missed it, the
Yeah,
skinny
Skeeter's just gonna avoid
baby with the
conflict.
short tail, that's the one that we got with him. And then he's, of course, the teeny little black one that looks more like a baby. Although, when you watch these videos, that horse, they tried to tell us he was like 2.5 or something. And then we got him and he started losing his baby teeth.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, he was under
Hi.
a year old when we got him. Anyway,
Hey, Skeeter.
that happens. They have to make their best guesses.
Are you having fun?
He may or may not have been 5 when we got him. They just guess based on what they can glean.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the
This is a
pupa.
lovely place to film. Mm. Oh, come on. Come on.
Oh, look, we got the horsey back and subjected him to more weird tortures. This is a good point in the video to point out that this video brings us from day 1 with Skeeter all the way up to present day. There's going to be a part 2 video coming out in a couple of weeks when his new owner gets him. It is kind of secret right now, I think. We're not revealed yet as of this video's posting. So like and subscribe and click that little notification bell if you are interested in seeing part 2 on who's going to get this lovely pony from me. Okay, some of this is me working up my courage. This is the first time that this is going to happen.
Good man. I flopped a little more that time. Mm-hmm. Ooh, good boy. Okay. Good man. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, the snort's back.
Pretty sure these clips are out of order because I feel like I would have messed with his feet before I was getting on him, but some of this stuff was taken by a friend of mine on her camera and then she would airdrop them to me like way later. So I don't know at this point. I don't have the timestamps because they timestamp when they get shared, they move around, da da da. This is teaching him to pick his feet up for me so that they can be cleaned,
Give me
etc.
Liberty Horse. I step, you step.
I do remember this day was so hot that I refused to stay out in the sun a moment longer than I had to. So every time he backed us into the sun, I was immediately looking for some sort of teeniest of good behaviors to like release us and let us go back into the shade.
Booty bump.
He's like, if I just pick it up for you, can you not grab my leg? Good boy. Maybe do the brush slide first?
I was just kind of
Yeah.
touching.
Yeah, he's just touching.
He's good,
Get a
though.
shower. I know it doesn't feel like a huge leap at this point to be able to pick his feet up if I can do all these other things now, but a horse's feet are their security. It's how they get away. It's probably what they're going to use to defend themselves in most situations. Um, they don't like their feet being handled like this. They don't. And there are perfectly nice horses who have lived with people all their lives who will give you trouble with this. So it's also the scariest thing for me as a trainer. I don't do a whole lot of riding training, to be honest. I'm just not good at it. But as far as the groundwork stuff that I feel like I am good at, this makes me nervous every time. One little misread on my part, one little mistake, one little I wasn't ready yet from that horse's part, and my face can get smashed in. You notice I didn't even go to the back feet, and now we're just playing. So we're playing nice because you see, early on it starts. Skeeter can like shun me when he's mad. He's like, "You made me do something I didn't want to do today. I'm not talking to you." So we play games and earn our love back. This looks like early days of adding weight and a loose saddle and getting him to move with all of this new weird stuff on him. I want to make sure you guys kind of pick up on, I get him moving. Eventually he gets it right and he's moving out, and then I will notice his mouth start to chew right there. You see his chewing? And I let him stop. That meant that he realized and was thinking about, like, he relaxed. He realized, oh, it's not hurting me. This is what she wants me to do. And I let him stop and literally chew on that thought a little bit. So even though it was just like 2 correct steps maybe that he took, the minute I saw he was relaxing and thinking about it, I was like, okay, take a break and think about that.
Gypsy. Good girl. Gypsy. Leave him. Leave it.
For the truly
Gypsy.
observational,
Here.
you notice the treat pouch
Good
kind of
girl.
comes and goes, and certainly didn't start out even bothering to wear it. Mustangs have never had grain or treats, ever. They're usually pretty familiar with hay by the time you'll see them out of, from the Bureau of Land Management, but you have to teach a Mustang how to eat grain and treats. So anyway, I just saw that and I was like, you know what? I don't think I've mentioned treat training yet. I don't have a lot of footage on him of sort of that transition, but
You
this is me.
desensitized too much.
He's locked up. So some horses, they say it's like fight or
Try the
flight or
marching technique.
reactions, but horses have a third one, and I think a lot of animals really do, and it's fight, flight, or freeze. And Skeeter frequently goes to the freeze.
March your legs.
So
Some horses that
you
works
have
with.
to get them moving.
There you go.
He does know how to back up already. I have already taught him how to do this. The saddle or maybe the bag on the saddle, or maybe the fact that the dog is here today. There's no telling. I don't remember. He has chosen freeze. Something is different and he doesn't like it. He's learned that he can't get away with the flight. So he's going to freeze. And in order to get his brain moving again, I have to get his feet moving. So that's kind of me arguing with him right now. No, move your feet. You see here, we've gone from run away from me or freeze. Now he's coming to me for comfort or a solution. He's trying to almost come on top of me. So that became an issue with him. I then had to undo as well. It's like, yes, come to me for comfort. Okay, no, not that close. So, a fun balancing act with training. Sometimes they try something a little too hard. And then you have to, okay, I like that you're looking for me to answers, but I don't really need you to sit in my lap.
Good boy. Yeah.
Such a good kid, pony. Yes, you are.
It's probably also worth noting some of this seems chaotic. Like maybe I spliced the video together out of order. It might be true, but there's also an awful lot to be said for. You notice the previous clip of me getting on him, somebody else was holding the rope. And so this is very different. The saddle types are different. That other one was much, 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 much smaller. I don't even remember if I had stirrups on it to flop around or not. I'd have to go back and look. I'm not gonna, to be honest. Wait, you can. It's different. Everything is different to a horse. And the more things that you can say, hey,
I'd say
it's
this is his
different, but
first
it's
time doing
actually
it.
the
He's
same.
doing pretty good.
That's what you're really training into them. You're training into them how to find the answers to the problems. You're not training them to every problem that they will ever encounter. I hope that is. Let's see if I can phrase it maybe another way. You cannot possibly expose a horse to everything that they will ever be exposed to, ever. But you can teach them to trust you and look to you as the leader and teach them the safe options to try out to solve their problems. That's what my goal is.
I'm getting so sweaty that my
Okay, if you want a good weight loss program, here's the way you're going to do it. You're going to get a horse. You're going to put one foot in the stirrup on the wrong side of the horse, and then you're going to hop around. But seriously, this is how I sort of get them to stand still. I just stick with them until they're like, gosh, she's going nowhere. And then he stops, so I get down. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm back on the correct side. I can't get on a horse from the wrong side, man. I try so hard. It's just like one of the ways that I am the most uncoordinated. Tried to figure out why I can't get it through my brain, but anyway, that just happened. There's no telling. I just sort of go on gut with that. So something about I actually only put in so much of the footage of me hopping around like that. It was probably 30-40 minutes of me just hopping around on either side, and then finally at that moment I was like, now's the time, I'm getting on. I don't know why. Same beep, different day. That last one though, if you saw my little like celebratory like aha, that was the first time, I know it was, that I had gotten on him without somebody helping me or whatever, and just sort of had a successful mount up with pretend reins and the whole setup. And it was like, I'm done now. That was after like an hour of hopping around and getting it right. The minute I got it right, we were done for the day. So here's a repeat of that. And again, we just kind of have to go through a little bit. But you see how much more still he's already standing for me? I'm not having to do all the chase him around the pen with my foot in the stirrup for 5 minutes or whatever. He just stood there and let me get on. And now we're into phase 2, which is, now you've stood still for me, now I need you to move. And this is where I fail as a trainer. This is where I need to hand it off to somebody else. Okay, we have a safe horse. You can get on him. I need somebody else now to teach them how to go forward. So I actually clipped this out and then sped it up a little bit because, yeah. I don't know there either. There was some read I had on it where I decided something, he was locked up. His brain wasn't in the right place for it. But we did a little pivot. There we go. Just trying to get him to move with me on there. It, they have to move their feet, and it feels really weird for them when they have new weight on their backs. And they don't really understand, like, if you go to give a person a piggyback, you can understand, like, I need to brace for this or whatever. You get on a horse and they're like, oh, no, what is that? So it's very different. But yeah, so they tend to either stand still or, in his case, he's kind of going back to his really early days default of backing up, which is not something we want to see, but it's what happened. Well, we're about to lose footage and have to skip forward in time by like 2 years because of a horse eating my phone and no backups. And it's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But eventually he did move forward. So here we are in last winter.
What's the pit?
Yeah, he's been a little far away, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You just stay there and wait. He'll get you. That pony is so lazy that he won't even come get pets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not really true. He walked over here. He just likes to hang out. Oh, look, see? If you go down on your knees, like squat down, there you go. There, see?
Let's see. You do it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in the eyeball's not the best place to pet him, though.
Maybe his nose? What's his nose?
Say, you want some scritches? Say that.
What's his
Say scritches.
What's his
Scritches, scritches.
Scritches?
You can kind of like that. Let's see if he'll come get. Yeah, well, he's gonna fall asleep there. He just likes to hang out with you. Is that good?
Here's the honesty journey that I like to keep myself on. This is just a couple of days ago. As of the making of this video, I've separated Skeeter out from their herd because he will be going home to a new house with a new person. And I honestly haven't messed with him in a significant, like, training kind of way in so long at this point that he's needing some refreshers. So he's separated. I'd been doing some halter work. Well, I put the halter on him. La-da-da. Just kind of some basics. So I got a little cocky here. The future new owner wants to see if he'll accept fly masks. And I was like, a fly mask is just a halter. Like, no big deal. He's been letting me put his halter on like he's never not had a halter on. And I messed up. And then I really messed up because there, I think he had that old fashioned, like, that rope is a snake danger moment. And here I extra mess up because I have to chase him all the way to the woods. I'm wearing shorts because I thought this was going to be a quick process. So cut to 8 minutes later. I way back in the woods. I finally got the fly mask on him. Not a huge ordeal, but it was a little bit. And I'm a little irritated. Probably covered in poison ivy because I was wearing shorts because I didn't know I was going out in the woods. Anyway, and then his little butt comes down the hill in his fly mask and is like, look at a treat, right? And I was like, technically, yes. But ugh. You'll see me here in a second doing an awful lot of checking to make sure that he's not actually mad at me. He is. He's mad at me. I'm offering him this truce treat. He's like, yeah, you messed up, lady. Yeah, classic Skeeter right there. So now he's not gonna, yeah, he's not gonna talk to me for another day. And to prove that, here's tomorrow. So this clip I just went ahead and sped up. It's kind of featured in one of the weekly life on the farm videos that I just posted. Where I'm actually talking and explaining. In this video, I felt like it didn't need to be redone, but this is me patiently missing my dinner, etc. Well, I attempt to apologize to Skeer for putting a fly mask on him. You can see he's still. This is the day after fly mask goes on. Yeah, I think this whole session probably lasted for 5 minutes. But I'll tell you, yesterday's session was 14 minutes. But my hair was down and it was really, 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 really hot. And same here. It's really, 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 really hot. So these sessions that might feel like, oh, this is only a 9-minute clip or this was a 13-minute clip feel like it took an hour and a half sometimes. The video timestamps tattle on me, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I was out there for an hour. And it's like, well, maybe it was 15 minutes. But yeah, I think I was singing somewhere in here. I know I am somewhere in here. I'm talking to him. I'm explaining things to the camera. Chad had left his mic on feeding the goats, so there's some of that going on in the background. But anyway, this one's sped up, so you're not going to hear any of that. But this is how we apologize. He's now letting me pet him, so I can tell him I'm sorry, but he's not sorry. Well, here we are in present day as of this posting. This is Skeeter Part 1. Skeeter Part 2, again, will release in about 2 weeks. We're going to be discussing with the new owner. She's going to come over and we're going to do some training with her and Skeeter in the pens. So all of that footage will be featured in part 2. See ya in the next one.